Hey, Jamie, good to see you. Thank you for joining.
Thanks for having me.
We'll just set up the Facebook live stream and get back to you shortly.
Yes, I'm ready when you are.
Apologies, everyone. This is embarrassing. I'm trying to live stream on Facebook, but I forgot my password. So I reset my password, so I'm checking if it works again. So thanks for your patience. That worked. So it took me some time to get everything installed, but we are there. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining this. What is it? May already, our May Power Up call. And of course, we're going to talk a bit about convention because it's been a couple of weeks now since some of us had the opportunity to go to Las Vegas and join the ASEA Global Convention. And this is, of course, one of the topics that I would like to discuss with you. I will briefly go through is music still playing? Can you hear that? Let me delete that music. There we go. Just showing you the agenda quickly. As mentioned, we will talk about the ASEA 2022 Global Convention, and we're going to do that with a very special guest that I will introduce a bit later. Jamie Thomson, you can already see him on the camera. Then later on, we will have a social media training with Patricia Franco. She is our newest team member. She knows so much about social media. As you noticed just earlier, I do not. Forgetting passwords, not knowing how to live stream. We need her help. I'm so glad that she's here, and I think that you will benefit from her knowledge as well. So Patricia, if you're already on the call, Patty, I have to say, thank you so much for helping us out. After a great convention, I'm already looking forward to our next big event, which will be our European conference later this year in Budapest. I want to share some words about that. I want to refresh everyone's minds when it comes to meeting support that we offer here in at ASEA in Europe. Very important thing is meeting physically. We know that this is important for building your business, growing your business, and we want to support that. And I just want to remind everyone what we have to offer. And then last but not least, I want to inform you that we, and with we, I mean ASEA Europe, is now on Facebook. And I will tell you a bit about that later on, what that means and how it works. But first, we're going to talk about the ASEA convention. And of course, I can tell you how amazing it was and what was so great about it. But it's always better to have someone to talk about his experiences. And for that, we have Jamie Thomson from the UK on the call. Thank you, Jamie, for joining. Very, very grateful to have you here. I will stop sharing again. This was your first convention.
Correct. Yes, it was. And it was a very pleasant experience at that.
I invited Jamie, not just because it was his very first convention, which is one of the good reasons why we have him on the call, but also because this was the first opportunity I had to meet with Jamie in person. I watched him throughout the couple of days because I've heard a couple of things about him. His name popped on some reports that we were running, and I was really, really keen on getting to know him. And I also, yes, like I said, I watched him. running around, talking to so many different people. And I know that he was having a great time. And I'm very, very thankful that he's willing to share his experiences with us. And I will ask Jamie, if it's okay with you, I would love to ask you a couple of questions.
Of course.
Starting with introducing yourself, we want to know who you are. And well, we know that you're in the UK, but who you are, what you're doing, and also when and why you joined ASEA.
Okay, so a little bit about me then. My background is in sport and exercise. I briefly played as a professional footballer here in the UK, but not to the heights of my sponsor, Dave Bradley, a Manchester United player, just at a team called Cheltenham Town. After professional football, I was in the Royal Navy for 6 years. So I served Queen and Country, and I left the Royal Navy to start a sports coaching and exercise business. And now that's what I do alongside my ASEA business. I use sport and exercise to benefit mental health and well-being through a service called social prescribing in the UK. However, I came to ASEA via my sponsor, Dave Bradley, who I've already mentioned there, because it was something like I'd never seen before. I've been in sport, I've been in, I've seen every different kind of supplement or sports performance product come through and go, and I've never really found a want to use anything before. But ASEA was different. ASEA was native, as you know, and it led to intrigue, and that intrigue led me to obviously want to experience the products, but then in turn introduce it to others. And that's where my light bulb moment came, when I saw what it did for other people. I mean, I was relatively healthy as it was, so I wasn't coming to ASEA for a health reason. It was just of intrigue. But when I introduced a few others and I saw what it did for them, that's when I realized this is something special.
And when did you join ASEA?
So yeah, as a business, I've not really been doing much with my ASEA business until, for the last 6 months or so. I'd say that I've been looking at this as a business, but I was actually introduced, it's around about a year ago now that I was first introduced to ASEA. And I've got to be honest, and I'm sure there's many other people on the call or may even hear this recording, I class myself as an open-minded skeptic. I started skeptical. I couldn't believe this sounds too good to be true, but I'm open-minded. I'm willing to follow the evidence. And that evidence led to, me understanding this technology and understanding its applications and how this works, and the biology, if you like, that I was unaware of. And once you follow the evidence and you actually research, as opposed to just Google and take somebody's opinion, you actually really look at it, the evidence all stacks up and the information is there to be read by anybody. So yeah, I'd say a year ago I was introduced, but only in the last 6 months I've decided to pursue something with this.
I think being skeptical is a good thing, especially when you're open-minded in combination with that. Very happy that you found ASEA, but then so you joined a year ago, saw the business opportunity as well a bit later. But then what made you decide to go from the UK to Vegas, invest your time and money to go there?
Well, I've got to put a lot of credit down to Mal Sword at this point, because I know pretty much everybody knows who Mal Sword is, but he's been like a mentor to me. He's helping grow in the UK, but he's obviously identified me as somebody with potential, and he encouraged me to go. He explained what I would get out of it. I've heard the stories about convention and I've understood its power, if you like, but as with the technology, I had to experience it for myself. And that's what I would say to anyone. You can hear about somebody else's experiences, but you've got to feel it for yourself. And that's where I couldn't let that opportunity pass me by, as with the ASEA opportunity. So I felt the need to go and experience it, and then I could really kind of comment myself, which is why I guess I'm here.
Yes, you are. Very good. I'm just listening to you. You mentioned mentor. You mentioned potential. These are very important things when you talk about a business in general, especially here at ASEA. It's very important to have a mentor that's been or has been where you are right now. And when someone like that is saying, you need to go here, and I can tell you why, but you need to experience it. I think that's crucially important. And yeah, hopefully everyone here on the call has has been to a convention or a conference before, or at least is thinking about it, because I know for a fact that this will change how you perceive ASEA. This is how you will this is what will change the way you perceive the business. But back to you. So if you had to pick one thing what you think was the highlight for you at convention, what was it?
Okay, you're making that difficult in saying just one, because I think I may have mentioned to you or somebody previously that after day one, I thought I'd peaked, and then day two got better. But I've got to say, Tyler's closing speech, if you haven't watched it, I know there's the recordings out there. Everything on that final day just went above and beyond what I expected. And that was the thing that Trish Schwenkler said. People don't always remember what you tell them, but they remember how you made them feel. And what I will remember, and this is taking nothing away from the breakout speakers and all the great information I took away with me that I'm still putting to use now, but I'll never forget how Tyler and that final day made me feel. And that's the fuel, that's the fire within me now, that feeling that was created. So yeah, that was my one highlight. If you had to, nail me down to one.
I'm definitely on the same page. I can still very vividly remember the first time I went to convention. It was also in Las Vegas in 2019. It was relatively new at ASEA, 4, 5, 6 months at the company. Hadn't seen Tyler live before, and had the pleasure of watching him perform. I think it's called performing almost, but presenting the ethos. He's so well spoken, eloquent, and a great communicator. When he talks, you just listen, and his message is another thing that comes on top, right? It's one thing if you're a great speaker, but his message is always so powerful. So I think it is difficult to pick one highlight, but I think I have to agree with you on this one. Something different, maybe not your highlights, but your biggest takeaway from the convention.
Yeah, so again, going back to, how it made me feel, I suppose, that my one takeaway, I'd suppose, and there's a bit behind this, Ed Weans, who I've got to know a little bit personally prior to and at convention, I was desperate to attend his breakout session. And even though we get on, I didn't realize he almost understood me without knowing me. And he said a line that stuck with me was, "Don't try and heal the world." And he said it because he's helping people understand the opportunity more so than the power of the technology. And what I took that to mean, and what I've kind of shared with my team that I'm building here in the UK, is that I had previously seen this technology, seen the power of it, and wanted to introduce people to it. But even if I did my absolute, capacity, I might reach 300 people individually and one by one introduce them to the technology. And great, I get a good feeling for helping that amount of people. But if I took my ego out of it, and I find others that can find others that can find others that can find others, then my reach can be tens of thousands. And yes, I might not get the direct kind of, praise for that. But if I take my ego out of it, my want is to help people, and I can help more people if I stop trying to heal the world and I find people who can help me on that journey. So that was my big takeaway, to find people that can help me on this mission, if you like.
Again, definitely on the same page. People build people, and people are the ones that move the products, right? It's not, if you're by yourself, you can do only so much. And this is what you want to do. This is what we as ASEA are trying to do, is get this information out there to as many as people as possible. And we all know that you can do more together as a team. Duplication is the key to success in this business, definitely. But thank you for sharing that. Also, what is very important for me, I know that products are, of course, play a big part with ASEA, but the opportunity is also key. And I think that what you just said about Ed Weans and the message that he shared and what it means for you is already answering this question. But did going to the convention for you change the way you look at the ASEA opportunity?
Yes, yeah, massively. Like I said, prior to the convention, I was very product focused. I was, maybe I don't know, like looking at it from the wrong perspective. That I'll be honest about that, in that I didn't really fully grasp the opportunity side as well as even though I had Mal, telling me and coaching me. It was like the penny dropped at convention for me. I don't know if that expression means anything to you guys, but yeah, it dawned on me what he'd been saying for so long. And yes, and I realized that one thing again that Mal always says is that if you ask people questions and you understand where they're at, invariably there's going to be something in their life that isn't how they would like it. And more often than not, ASEA has a solution. You know what I mean? It might be that, like I say, it's a health reason that you find ASEA, then great, we've got a solution. But it might also be that there's a job satisfaction problem and you don't enjoy what you do, or you don't get, like I say, that fulfillment out of life, or you're out of work and you want to find a new opportunity. There's normally, if you speak to people and you understand people, they will present a reason why this should be something they should look at. So yeah, the opportunity was something that that I've come away from with a lot greater passion around, if you see what I mean. I was so passionate about the technology before, but now I've realized the passion behind the opportunity is, just as big.
And where does this come from the convention? Is it the content or is it meeting people?
Yeah, it's a bit of both. I would say it's probably meeting people, because one thing I took away from the convention, and I still say this to everybody who asks me, even people, non-related to ASEA, say, how was Las Vegas? And I say, how did ASEA put however many thousand people in a room, and you can guarantee every single person is decent, kind, open, warm, and I just couldn't get across, it couldn't get over the fact that I could pick somebody out at random. As you said, you saw me running around talking to everybody, and everybody gives you their time, their attention, they want to help. And I just thought that was unique. That was something that was special to me. It made an impact on me. And yeah, I mean, the content was also fabulous. And I think, on that note, the word potential, as you've touched on, was driven home to me slightly more, with more authority than maybe it had before, because redox is measured in potential, people are measured in potential, and that for me really kind of hit home. And it's like, you're right, it's all about finding potential. So yeah, the content was amazing, and I'm not taking away from that, but I've got to say the people were just another level, something more than I expected.
The reason why I'm asking is because this convention was very much focused on, the theme of the convention was We Are Innovation, of course, and we will talk about that in a little bit. The product launches played a big role, but still, even though it was not the strong focus for this convention, the opportunity and what it means for you is still very much there. And so I'm glad that you had this experience for you at your first convention. For me, these events, content is great, but for me personally, the most important thing is meeting new people, learning from them. Like you mentioned, everyone is kind and ready to talk to you. They will give you some time. I meet new people there every time, asking questions about why they joined ASEA. And like you mentioned, everyone has their own reason for it, and it can be completely different every time. For some, many of them are product focused, also with joining, yes, which makes a lot of sense. But you get the most beautiful stories, and you learn from that. And I think that this is what this business is all about: meeting new people, learn from them, and share your own experiences. So thank you for that. But then we have to talk about the new products. Also, Jamie, with your background, you're a sportsman. Let's talk mostly about the performance products. You look like you're using skincare. I don't know if you do. You don't need it. Maybe you do. I don't know, but I want to talk to you about the performance products. Did you buy them? Did you taste them? Did you test them? What was your experience?
Yes is the answer. In terms of skincare, it's just Renew 28, by the way. That's the what I use. But yeah, in terms of the Cell performance products, yes, I took some home because I'm aware they're not quite available yet in the UK. So I wanted to sample them, and I had the same mindset as I did when I first came to ASEA. I was like, okay, these sound brilliant, I understand, but I'm gonna have to experience them for myself. And they're brilliant. I mean, in terms of what they do for a business opportunity, they're huge. Gateway product is how I have described them and how others have, because it's an easy way to introduce people to ASEA products at a very cost, a very cheap price, a very competitive costing range. But it opens the door to everything else, and that's where we can introduce the other products. But in terms of my experience, and I don't know if I planned on sharing this, but I'll share. Last week I used the Redox Energy and Redox Mind combined on a run that I go on. And Alan Noble in his speech spoke about how he broke some PBs that he'd held for years after using, I think it was Mind only as a pre-workout. So these aren't exclusive to one area. And lo and behold, I beat a run that I'd not beaten, an 8-kilometer run that's I haven't got anywhere near for about a year and a half. And I beat it without even really going out to beat it. I just happened to realize I was running at a good pace, so I thought I'd keep going. And lo and behold, I beat a PB that stood for about a year and a half, and I shouldn't be doing that, but I was really impressed. And since then I've trialed them, and I've given a few out, and I've had some good responses back from the people who've used them. So they're a really good just introduction to ASEA, as I see it, as well as what they do for people. If you're athletically minded, energy is going to be great. If you're a high-powered executive or anyone and you want mental clarity, Redox Mind, I work in mental health. My other businesses work with sport and exercise in relation to mental health. And the Redox Mood is, like I say, something that a lot of people need to see, something that's completely natural, no, foreign substances, if you like, or nothing that's going to cause you any harm. And yet we know via the science, aligns itself to reduce anxiety and enable you to feel, more calm.
I can see that you are excited about these products. I'm happy to see it.
Massively.
I love the fact that you said the combination of mind and energy, that's your new to go to drink. I actually sorry for some of the Europeans that are on the call. I have the Mind here. I already poured it because I'm going to need it to pay attention to Patty's presentation about social media later on. But I use that same combination of energy and mind as well. It's busy at convention. You travel there from Europe. Sometimes you're tired. Long days as well, because you want to. There's so many impressions throughout the day. The general sessions and the breakout session, you want to be focused, right? So I tried that combination, worked perfectly for me as well. I'm not going to talk about my personal best. Maybe I'll save that for a later time because I don't have any. But great combination, those two products. I have to be honest, I haven't tried the mood yet. I think that I'm in a good mood most of the time. Sometimes it's stressy, so maybe I will try that one as well. But I'm really excited to have these products in Europe pretty soon as well. But sharing your experiences, and again, you mentioned, and I had it prepared for later on as well, the simplicity of these products. The name, the title of the product, it says what it does. You don't have to be a scientist to understand that the performance products with the name energy will get you energy and will maintain energy as well. That you have mind, that of course it has to do with your mind, to be relaxed, to be focused, to have mental clarity, like you mentioned. These are products that are easy to understand, but also easy to explain. And everyone needs it, right? Everyone needs it for something. And if it's for sports, or is it to be concentrated for a presentation that you have to give, whatever, there are so many uses of this product. And what you mentioned, door opener, gateway product. Some people, they don't want to hear about redox technology because it's way too complicated. Get these products to them. They want to use these products. It's powered by Redox. You have that logo on there that links it to the other products. So absolutely right. You mentioned, I think, Alan Noble's presentation in one of the general sessions. If there's someone on the call who hasn't seen this, try and watch it. It's so easy how he explains it. beautiful testimonies as well.
Mm.
And yeah, great presentation by him. But again, the testimonials, the experience that people are sharing about those products is what it's all about. So once we have the products in Europe, share it with as many people as possible, and we will know that that these are great products that you can not only use for the people that you already have in your business, but also to get into a complete different target group.
Yeah.
Right? These are products for everyone, and so I'm very enthusiastic about this product. Can't wait to launch it. Thank you so much for sharing that as well. Then, not the very last question, because I have one thing I would like to end with. But so, it was your first convention? Anyone that hasn't been to a convention before, give me 5 reasons why they should attend.
Yeah, well, thankfully I've prepared for this because I wanted to get this across. So the 5 things that I've written down, and there's a myriad of things, but the 5 things that I've written down are what you'll learn. I've come away, with a lot more information, not just about products, but about the opportunity, about myself to some degree. So what you'll learn is the first thing, who you'll meet. These are good people. And don't get me wrong, you're going to meet a lot of people, but I think the people that you meet are, they're of value. These meetings with people, they leave an impact on you. And if you can fill a room with 3,000 or however many people were there, good people, then you're going to have good experiences. You're going to get that good interaction. And that really meant a lot to me. The perspective it will give you is the third point I made, in that for me, it shifted my perspective. It helped me see things from a higher, I won't say I didn't shift my perspective. I raised my perspective, if you see what I mean. I looked at it from a higher altitude, if you like, and saw, my goodness, the potential of me, the potential of this, and the potential of the people in the UK or in Europe that I can, collaborate with is phenomenal. But I hadn't, like I said, ex-forces, as I said, I've always been on the ground level, you know what I mean? I haven't got in the helo and got up above it and looked down and seen quite how big a expanse we can reach with this. The fourth point is the experience. Like I said earlier, you don't forget how it makes you feel. This is something that will stay with me now for, as long as I live. I imagine that I'll be recounting this story or these experiences back to people as long as they want to hear me talk about it. And then the final thing was, in relation to one of the other points, is how it'll make you feel, because that goes back to the earlier question. I tend to think if all I had with ASEA was information, then I would burn out, you know what I mean? Or I would, I can only read a scientific study so many times and get excited by it. But what you need to fuel that fire, for me, is emotion, is passion, is how you feel. And that's what this does for me. It is, it's stoked the fire within me to enable me to come back with this, this enthusiasm and this passion for what we do and what we can do, and the potential this can have. And I think I heard Tony Robbins say something along the lines of, it is emotion that drives people. So you have to try and create emotion in people. And this is what convention does. I will gladly and honestly tell you that 2 times on 2 occasions I had tears in my eyes, and I'm not naturally that way inclined. I don't normally get too emotional, but it did that to me, and it will for anyone else that attends. And that's what will drive you. That's what you'll go back to in those tough moments, if you like, or when you've had a few no's or whatever it is. You'll go back to, why am I doing this? What feeling does it give me? And that's what convention did for me.
Beautifully said. Thank you so much. One last thing, I heard it through the grapevine, is that you also had the opportunity to meet with Tyler for a short bit.
Yes, yeah.
That's of course great. Can you tell me a bit about how you perceive him, or what the conversation was like?
Yes, yeah. So I think I mentioned this to Ed Weens, that as a Brit, and I don't know if this is just me or it's probably stereotypical of us all, is that we don't like to blow somebody up, unless they deserve it, so, I will treat you as I find you. And if you are, deserving of that praise or that attention or that, celebration, then I'll give it, as long as it's not just because everybody else is doing it. I don't buy into the BS, if you like. Tyler blew me out of the water. He was everything and more that I'd been inclined to believe he would be. I've heard people speak of him. I've seen a lot of his speeches. Like I say, but I've never met him in the flesh. And I can tell you, that expression, never meet your heroes. Well, Tyler didn't disappoint. He was everything he portrays, he comes across as. And yeah, although we only spoke one-on-one for 5 minutes or so, it was enough to see that he is genuine. That's the thing. He's authentic, genuine, and really does care about the people he's with. And I don't know if I've mentioned this to you. He even reached out to me after the convention to just say thank you for saying, some nice things about him, and obviously for attending convention. So I thought that was another, really genuine touch. Nobody else knows he's doing that. He's done that one-to-one between us just to say thank you. And I just thought, this is a guy who doesn't have to do that, but he did, because of the person he is.
Definitely, he really takes the time for you with anyone, right? If you have a conversation with him, he's in that conversation. He takes the time to get to know you. I had a similar experience as well when I met him for the first time. It was I think it was my second week of ASEA, and we had a European conference in Barcelona, and he was there. And at the end of the conference, he took the team out for dinner, and he said, "Reinder, I'm gonna sit next to you because you're new." I was, oh, okay, let's see how that goes. But he was just interested in me. He was asking about my family, about my wife, what their names were, a lot about me. And of course, I had questions as well, but he just kept focusing on me. And the best thing was that the second time I met him, he asked about my wife and he named her by name. So he remembered as well, which is, I think, when you meet so many people every day and you have a corporate team of, well, we have 300 employees now here at ASEA, and you take the time to get to know the employees by name, everyone, do the same with the people in the field, reach out to you. Just the fact that he's thinking about all the conversations he had at convention and reaching out to these people to thank them. I think it's amazing. But thank you for sharing this. Jamie, it's been wonderful. I really appreciate you taking the time to share your experiences. Great takeaways from you. I hope that people on the call that haven't been to convention are definitely convinced that these are important events, not just for yourself, but also for your team. Because if you are experiencing something similar, like Jamie, someone else will have the same. Think about what kind of effect this will have on your business when not just you, but your entire team is elevated, that they have a bigger understanding of what this is, what they can achieve with this, that it's about people, not just about the products. This can do great things for your team when they go to these to conventions or conferences for that matter, because yes, it's a global convention. It's got people from all regions. Of course, also a slightly different budget than our European conference. And that's what you probably meant with experience as well. That screen that was at convention was so amazing, and yeah, I felt like I was in the cinema. Right, you're looking at the stage program. There's so many things happening around you. But yeah, thank you so much for sharing and taking the time. And I think I can count on you being in Budapest as well, right?
Yeah, I've got to run that one past my wife. But yes, I'd like to make sure I can get to it because I now know the value of these, events. So yes, it's in my best interest.
Thank you so much. And yeah, I will be seeing you very soon. And have a great rest of the day. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you. Can I just ask, do you want me to leave the call now?
No, of course not.
I'll happily stay on.
You can keep your camera on. You can comment on what I'm saying. If you don't agree with me, just let me know, whatever you want. I just will move to the next topic because there's one thing I want to share, or a couple of things that I want to share from convention as well. Starting with with this, because at convention, the business builder of the year is announced, and this is a huge, huge honor, because only one person, one associate a year is picked for this prestigious award. And this year it was Zoltan and Annette. And I want to take the time to congratulate them again for this award. This means that you're in the same list of people as Trish Schwenkler, Dr. David Silverman, the rock stars of ASEA. And I think that Zoltan and Annette can call themselves rock stars as well. Just want to read this quote. I hope he doesn't mind, from our regional VP, Eduard Luc, when he introduced Zoltan. From the stage, Zoltan unfortunately couldn't make it to Vegas, but he was zoomed in live on stage. But I want to read this quote from him, or this way of saying thanks by Eduard. Zoltan and Annette are some of the most authentic and trustworthy people I know. For them, ASEA is an age-to-age business, human to human. Their ability to power people's potential is outstanding because they speak from a place of belief. And I would like to thank Zoltan and Annette for their commitment to improving people's lives, for adding value, and for opening minds. And I fully support this quote by Eduard. I have had the privilege of working together closely with Zoltan and Annette. They are, don't get me wrong, they are very, very hard workers. They really deserve this. They spend a lot of time on ASEA building up their team. And this is not just an award for them. This is also an award for their team, because they have been working so hard. We all know that the success story of Hungary is a great story from 3 years ago. Only a handful of associates there, now to the biggest market in Europe. So Zoltan, well deserved. Thank you so much for everything you're doing. And well, let's hope that in the very near future we can announce more business builders coming from Europe at our global convention. But I just wanted to share this because this is so well deserved. Next slide. I of course want to share with you my 1 minute of fame. This is not to show my picture, but I saw it coming by when I was watching back one of the breakout sessions. This was actually the one that you talked about, Jamie, make the decision to become a builder at Ween's presentation breakout session. Why I'm showing this picture is because the breakout sessions will be available a bit longer than was announced. Took a bit longer to get the translations for the breakout sessions, and that's why we decided to keep them online a bit longer. So if you haven't looked at these breakout sessions, please do, because there are a couple fantastic ones there. This was the second day just after we launched the products. I'm showing the products there. This is what I mentioned when I took the mind and energy. I was good to go. You say a breakout session 50 minutes. I could do a couple in a row after those products. But I was asking, I have them in my hand, and I was asking the people in the room who already tried the products and purchased the products. And I think that everyone said yes, and everyone felt focused. They had a lot of energy. And then, yeah, a great breakout session by Ed Ween's. So please have a look at those if you haven't. I think we've all seen them. I needed to put a picture on this, this is a GIF, by the way, not a picture of the new products. They look beautiful, and I'm not going to give a product training. This will come, of course, when we are going to launch them in Europe, and we are going to launch them. We don't have a final date yet, but it will be the fourth quarter that we will have all these products. And I already talked about these 3 products with Jamie, what they can do for you, that they are easy to explain and understand, and that everyone can use them, and that it's also a gateway product. Use these products to introduce Renew 28, the ASEA water or ASEA drink, whatever you want to call it, to people. You can introduce the term redox, and maybe not everyone wants to talk about redox science right away, but use these products to introduce our other products as well, or the other way around, of course. And the other products that we of course we had the Renew Advanced skincare system already, but this is newly formulated, different look, different feel, different products, formulas, and a fourth product that is added with the toner. And what we should never forget is that this set works perfectly together with Renew 28 as well. At stage at convention, they mentioned 1, 2, Renew, 3, 4. So this is the sequence where you how you have to use the products. So cleanse, tone, then Renew 28, treat and moisturize. But great products. And I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I haven't been using a lot of skincare products, but I've been considering it for quite some time now. And now I'm committed to use it. Or at least that's what I thought. But then a couple of my colleagues here in the office says that, well, if you do the entire routine, it might take 15 minutes. So I have to see how that fits into my evening or morning routine. But I'm definitely committed to trying to use it. Because even though we are targeting women for this, I keep saying this is not just for women, this is for men as well. So love the pink color. I'm really looking for it's not pink, by the way, it's coral. I have to say coral, sorry for that. But I am really looking forward to having these products in the market as well. I think that these are great products. What I've heard, and again, I didn't try them yet, but what I've heard that these are great products, again, powered by Redox. You can see that little logo here. This is the powered by Redox logo. There are Redox ingredients in these products. So yeah, can't wait to launch these products in the fourth quarter of this year. Now I want to show you, this is the window. You're looking at the window from our meeting room in our office here in Munich. And you can see a pretty ASEA box. These are actually the a box of the Renew Advanced products that the US sent to us. And this is a video that Patty and her team, Patty, I will introduce her later on, created for to put on social media. And I think that this video, it's a great example of something that I would have never thought of doing. It's got music, it's quick, it shows you the products, shows exactly how you're using the products in, what was it, 8 seconds? And this is what the social media is all about, getting the message out there, showing people the product, make it exciting. And this is why I am very, very pleased to have Patricia Franco, or as she likes to be called, Patty, on our team, because she's an expert. She is our digital media specialist. And we already had the privilege of getting a training from her about social media, how to use it, what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And we've asked her today to also share a couple of things with you. So Patty, how are you?
Hello. Hi, I'm good, and you?
Very good. Well, thank you so much, first of all, for joining. Can't wait to watch your presentation. I mentioned it already. I will be focused. I need to pay attention. This is important stuff. I want to know more. I want to learn more, and I know that I can learn from you. But maybe just 1 minute. Can you tell everyone on the call a couple of things about yourself?
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, hi, I go by Patty, as you already know at this point. I recently joined ASEA Europe 3 months ago. This is my 3rd month. I'm very excited to be here. I'm originally from Mexico, but I've been living in Germany for like 5 years now. Yeah, I love everything digital, everything social media. I think I'm always there. So, and I really like my job being there. So.
Very good. Thank you so much. And you are here to share a presentation with us. So please go ahead, share your screen and enlighten us.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Okay, so I will be taking over here for now. Well, this is a short introduction presentation for you to know how to use social media for your business. And this is nothing in depth, it's something for you to just, some tips and tricks, things that you might already know, but you want to get to know more in depth. So we thought it would be nice for you to know. And this is how to use social media for your business. This presentation is divided into sections. So the first one is more about why you should be using social media, in case you still have doubts and things like that. What social medias we recommend for each type of audience, the types of contents for your business, the tone and compliance, and do's and don'ts. Basically just some tips and tricks. So why use social media? Why is it important? Why do people keep talking about it? Well, first of all, it gives us a global perspective in an instant. There you can share blogs, social networks, hosted communities, video games, platforms, anything can be on the web. And the best thing about it is that anyone can do it. It gives anyone access to buy, promote, create, connect, or influence. And I think the most important part would be to connect and influence. It gives you a voice, and it gives everyone else that is with you and the internet a voice as well. And I think it's very common for brands to not be on social because everyone prefers to talk to a human being rather than a brand. And it makes it more interactive. If you text us through our corporate account, it's more likely that we will reply faster than if you call us or something like that. It lets you build a community, and it lets you show your products what they can do, and it lets you show the company itself. And I think like the best way to summarize it would be that the best marketing strategy a company can have or a product can have is the people behind it, the people using it, the people promoting it, and the people working there as well. And if you're still not convinced, here are some numbers that I put for you. So 58.7% of the entire population of the earth is on social media. That's more than half. Then we have 82.7% of working professionals are sharing something on social media of any type. And Facebook is not dead. It's still the world leading platform with 2.9 billion monthly active users. And in this graph, you can see that this is the global digital population as of last month. And there are 5 billion internet users in the world. And of those 5 billion, 4.65 billion are on social media. That is a lot of people that you can be targeting for your business and that you should be targeting for your business. And there's a lot of opportunity for you to grow there. Now, when we talk about social media, there are a lot of social medias. So you might be a bit confused. You give your names that you don't know what to do. You don't know which one is best for you or for your business or what you should be sharing in each. So we decided to make this for you. Who are you targeting? Before you join a social media, you should know who is in that social media. What is the content that you're sharing there, and why should you even be there? So for example, Instagram, now for Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram, it has 2.2 billion active users currently every month. But their target age group is between 18 to 34 years old. It's mostly dominated by young people and millennials, or Zillennials, the combination of Gen Z and millennials. But there's a strong focus on shopping. Instagram is going more and more towards shopping and becoming a way, like basically like a store. There are different options where you can tag your products, you can create your link in bio page. There's a lot of ways for you to interact with the content on Instagram and let people to buy your things. And then when you talk about Facebook, is a social media that a lot of people like to say that it's dead, and as I said before, it's not. We're actually in Facebook Live right now, so you can see it's not. And there's 2.91 billion active users per month there. The target group is a bit older, so we have 25 to 34, and even older. This is just the majority of the people that are there. And it's the largest social media platform in the world. To put it into perspective, if Facebook were a country, it would be the third largest in the world. So that's a lot of people. And it's a very simple to use social media. I think it's the simplest when it comes to user experience. Everyone knows how to use Facebook, and even if you don't, it's the easiest to jump and put your feet wet in it. And the thing about Facebook is that getting organic reach, meaning that you don't have to pay for your post to be seen, is harder than in the rest of the other ones. However, it's possible. A lot of people grow on Facebook, but it's more through communities rather than posts. Then we have the other three: Twitter, TikTok, and LinkedIn. Of course, there are way more social medias out there, but these are the basic 5, the most common ones and the most popular ones. Twitter, there's 211 million users actively there daily. And the age group is 18 to 29-year-olds, so still a little bit millennial. But there's also older people there, mostly like a lot of thought leadership or people, like politicians, things like that. And the majority of Twitter users have a college degree. And the content there is more geared towards discussion, world news, events, the content there is more reactive rather than planned. If you're going to be sharing on Twitter, you're most likely discussing something that is happening in the exact same moment. It's more live. When it comes to TikTok, the youngest one here, people say that TikTok is for young people. Actually, it's not. Most of the platform now is not a Gen Z person. Even though I'm Gen Z myself and I love TikTok, I still think that there's a lot of room there for a lot of people from different generations. And it has 1 billion active users. And to this day, it's the social media platform that it keeps growing the most and with most downloads in the App Store and Google Play Store. However, their largest age group is younger, it's 10 to 20-year-olds, but there is a lot of room for different types of age groups. And they have a really strong focus on shopping. There's this very famous hashtag on TikTok called hashtag TikTok made me buy it, which I have been a victim of myself, and a lot of people my age have been victims of, which is basically people showing what they bought and why they bought it. It sounds very ridiculous, but it is actually one of the best ways to sell at the moment. And it's a trend that you're going to be seeing in different social medias as well, especially as we move away from static content towards video content. People are going to be doing more hauls and videos to show what they bought, and that influences people to buy more. And then we have LinkedIn, very popular amongst older people as well. Why? Because it's more of a professional network. It's for you to create your network for work. However, LinkedIn has seen a shift in the recent years to become more of a thought leadership platform. When I say thought leadership, it means that you create your own personal brand. So for example, if I was a marketing professional, I will write about marketing and about how I do marketing so well. You won't be seeing a lot of content about companies, although yes, that's the main focus of LinkedIn. But now the shift is more towards people creating their own independent brand and show what they know, what they don't know, and give tips and tricks per se. So you want to do something more business-based, I will go with LinkedIn as well. It has 810 million active users, so there's a lot of people there. The age group, as I said, is older, 25 to 34, and it's completely dominated by millennials. They love that platform and they're going to stay there for a while. The focus in that social media platform is more business to business, so more softwares and things like that. However, B2C, business to consumer, is also there. And then we're going to talk about content types. When you write your content, you need to ask yourself one question, and that is, what are you trying to achieve with this post? Every type of content needs to answer a question or a need. So when you create content, you need to ask yourself, what is the intention? Are you trying to share the ASEA experience? Are you trying to generate leads? Are you trying to gain followers? Are you trying to share tips and tricks? What are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to become a leader in your niche? And I think the best way to do the last one is to find your niche, share content to engage people in that niche. So for example, if you're gonna post about beauty tips or skincare tips, then when someone asks you about your recommendation, you can talk about Reno Advanced or Reno 28, things like that. And then, let's skip, yeah, sorry. And then we have the three basic types of content. Content that teaches is learning content. Content that lets you explore different things is discovering. And content that answers a question or lets you discuss is Q&A, question and answer. So here are three examples of what we have been doing in our corporate account. Content that is learning or teaching, per se. It's content that is teaching people how to make their life better or how that specific product is working. So for example, we have this series every Sunday called Skincare Sunday, which, for example, in this post, we're talking about how to retain moisture. And then we have content that is discovered. It lets people discover a product that they're not familiar with, or just learn more about a specific product. So for example, here we have this picture of Yomi, and then for question and answer, their main goal is to drive answers or a discussion. For example, here is a picture of our Power Call invitation. We're here to discuss, teach you more, engage your audience. We're here to engage you and show you what to do. And then going with content types, we thought it would be nice for you to know more about the 3 main social medias out there. So with Instagram, you can do stories. You can actually do stories in almost all of them. It was a thing that was only specific to one at the beginning, but now everyone just kind of went on board with it, which we actually like. We appreciate that. Reels is Instagram and Facebook's response to TikTok becoming so big. As I said, the shift is going to become more video-based rather than static. So Reels, videos, lives, visuals are still there and they're still to stay, same as infographics. Carousel posts, what I mean by carousel posts, I mean posts that you can scroll more than one picture. That's called a carousel post. And private messages and promotional material. There's more Facebook and Instagram. The difference is that Instagram is visual, it's 100% visual. And Facebook still allows you, same as LinkedIn, Facebook and LinkedIn allow you to write messages that don't include any visuals. However, I would never recommend just writing a message unless it's like an announcement or something that you don't consider that requires one. But you can always share a visual or a video or anything that engages your audience. People are more visual on social. And when we talk about content types, we need to talk that content always has a purpose. And if the purpose is to sell, your content is to inform, excite, inspire, encourage, and help. Meaning that you need to teach people what is it that you're selling or inform them, excite them, get them excited. Why should they buy this? What is the purpose of this product and why should I buy this? And inspire them. Okay, I have this product now, what can I do with it? Inspire and encourage go together, encourage them to share. We're like, for example, right now we're encouraging to share all our posts, to share everything we do as a company. Same thing, you should encourage your team or anyone that follows you to do the same. Share our story, share the products, share the ASEA experience, and to help. If you need customer experience or customer support, or one of your team members, one of your followers has a question, your content should also answer those questions. And we have these 3 types of sell. You probably have heard of it before. So we have soft sell, which is content that is useful, but doesn't really push a particular product. So for example, if you end your post with a call to action that says like for more or comment down below, you're not actually pushing people to buy something, but you're engaging them and keeping them in your page. Then we have medium sell, which is content that introduces a product or idea to someone that is not familiar with it. So people that you're trying to get familiar with your product, you would post about it and be like, tap here for more, or read here for the full story. You're still not selling, but you're getting them more engaged, and they probably have already seen your page by this point. And then we have hard sell, which is content that requests or pushes people for a specific action and appeals to someone familiar with the brand or product already. So you would post something like, buy this here, get your tickets here, order this today, check the link in bio to buy more. Things like that. Your call to action has 3 different types, and these are the 3 different types of sales that you can do. Then when it comes to content types, the question that I get the most is, when should I post? And I would love to tell you that you should post at a specific time. However, I can't. Each post is different type of visual or video or content, and each country has their own regulations and their own time zones and their own way of posting. So there's not a sticker formula for me to tell you when to post. All countries and audiences are different. Something that is popular in Norway at 5 p.m. on a Monday is not popular in Germany at 5 p.m. on a Monday. You are the one that has the key to know when to post something. And the way that you do this is by tracking. And what I mean by tracking is you don't actually have to like have an Excel sheet and actually sit down and check every single like you got. But pay attention to who is liking what and around what days people tend to like more your page. For example, if you tend to see that on Wednesdays it works for you, then Wednesday is the day your audience is most engaged. So you should post on a Wednesday. All types of content also perform differently. A video does better on a Thursday, for example, than a static image does on a Monday. And a link gets more clicks if you post it on your story on a Saturday. Everything is different, and there is no way for you to actually know when. It's more of a paying attention situation. I can give you one recommendation, and that is to post in the afternoons, maybe, unless it's your audience specifically is more engaged in the mornings. But the afternoons is because it gears towards a more international audience, because you can still get engagement from the US who are just waking up and from other parts of the world that are like still in a different time zone than you. So because we're in Europe, I would suggest afternoons. However, don't take this 100% into account because it depends on your specific audience. And then when it comes to tracking, there are 5 types of things you can track. I think these are the easiest one to see. And if you have an Instagram account or a Facebook account set to professional mode, these are the easiest ways to track without having any actual knowledge, which will be reach, which is the total number of accounts that have seen your content. And then we have engagement. I think you have heard me say the word engagement, engage a lot. Why? Because the ultimate goal of posting in social is to get people engaged. Liking, sharing, commenting, saving, telling their friends. Engagement means that you're gonna get more people to come back to your page. And engagement in total, the metric is likes, comments, saves, and shares. Then we have impressions. A lot of people get reach and impressions confused because they're similar, so they're not exactly the same. Impressions is the total number of times your content has been seen, even if it is the same account or not. So when it comes to reach, it is the number of accounts that have seen your content. But when it comes to impressions, it's just the amount of times that it has appeared on someone's feed. It doesn't matter if it has been the same person refreshing your page 3 times. It will take it as a different impression. And then we have link clicks. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but it's the number of times that your link was clicked. And for this one, it doesn't matter if it's the same person clicking or if it's someone else. It's just the amount of time someone clicked on it. And last, we have profile visits. Is the profile visits resulting directly from a post. So if you posted something on Monday and 5 people checked your profile, then it probably means that Monday is your #1 day to post. So just keep tracking and you'll get the hang of it. It's pretty simple. Then we have tone and compliance. Tone. So our corporate tone is very friendly, inspiring, but it's still professional. We cannot tell you what to do on your personal social media account. We will never be telling you that, don't worry. You can do as you please, it's your personal account. However, if you can and if we would like to be in line with us, we will suggest and we will kindly ask you to stick to this tone of voice as close as possible if you're using our name. If you're mentioning ASEA, try to be inspiring, try to be friendly, and try to be a bit professional about it. Overall, it's just nice that we are all in line. But again, it's your personal account. Find your voice, find your tone, and then figure it out from there. But the whole point of having a tone of voice is to engage people. The more friendly you are, the more people are going to come back to your page. If you want to become a thought leader, you need to inspire people. You want people to keep coming back to you because they think you know everything, or that you at least have something inspiring to say. And then invite them to want to talk to you and discuss your products and business. That's the best advice we can give you. So by being inspiring and professional and friendly, they're going to keep coming back and they're going to buy from you. And then compliance. I think you have heard this a lot. You're not going to stop hearing from it. We know you're tired of hearing of it, us too. But we're a very transparent company and we have a strong emphasis on people. And there are certain claims that we cannot really make and that you shouldn't be making as well if you're using our name. If a post mentions health benefits, elements not mentioned on the labels, impossible claims, earning claims that seem too good to be true, try to stay clear from that as much as you can if you're using our name. Making claims that ASEA or Venus may heal or cure any specific type of complications or ailments are not compliant, so we kindly ask you to please don't. And yeah, don't post before and after pictures that have been edited. It's not even it's not really ethical as well, so it's just overall nicer if we don't do that. And then we have a little list that I like to call the do's and don'ts, or the we recommend, we don't recommend. So we recommend for you to engage your audience with nice content and a friendly tone of voice. Reply to comments and answer messages. This is where you can push to get sales. If someone private messages you, take the opportunity to teach them more about our products and our company and about what you're selling and the ASEA opportunity by itself. We don't recommend to spam your audience though. No one likes that. Don't post more than once or twice per day, and don't repost the exact same post more than once per day. Double check your formatting. We recommend that you double check your formatting and that the assets that you're uploading are in line with our new branding, or at least our branding in general, even if it's not the newest one. And we do not recommend that you post without checking your spelling and formatting. This is just a rule of thumb. If you're gonna post something, just reread it. It looks more professional if everything's in line, if everything's perfectly clear. And it's less embarrassing when you have to edit it later, and it saves you the hassle. Be as consistent as you can. It takes a lot, but if you start small and with small goals towards posting, so for example, if you say, I'm gonna post on Mondays and Wednesdays, that's a small goal and that's attainable. And then as you get more comfortable with it, you can start posting 3 times a day or 4 times a day. I don't think you should be posting every day. It's also very tiring to post every day. If you want, go ahead, post as much as you can, but you don't have to do it. We don't recommend that you post non-compliant claims about health or science. Sorry about that again, but please don't. We recommend to stay compliant. I'm gonna say it again. We don't recommend that you don't try new things. If you haven't done something, step out of your comfort zone and try it out. If you have never done a live video, why not? Give it a try. Give a live video on a Sunday about skincare. Why not? If you know something that someone else doesn't and you want to promote something, try it. It's always nice. And you might end up finding that you like it. And we recommend that you have fun. At the end of the day, it shouldn't be a hassle. It should be something that you actually end up enjoying doing, or at least you don't absolutely hate. So make awesome content that allows you to meet new people and have fun at the same time. If you love posting pictures about skincare or about anything else, just go with it. If you like posting pictures about something else, then do it as well. It's your personal account. You can do it. Just enjoy it. And we don't recommend that you stay in one platform. Try different things and see which one works for you. And when you're in more than one platform, you can actually access more people in different types of ways. So if you're on TikTok and then you're on Facebook, these are very different platforms, and you can access people in very different ways. And it will be more beneficial towards your business at the end of the day. We recommend that you create sleek visual content, meaning that everything's clean lines, not many things in one image will be nice. It's also because this is a recommendation, not because of branding, but more because of the way people engage with social media. When people tend to see a lot of things in one picture, they exit. Our brain is not made to be overloaded. So try to keep it as simple as possible. And we don't recommend using more than 30 hashtags on Instagram. That is actually the limit. And in general, try to stick to at least 10. After 10, first of all, no one reads it. And then after that, the algorithm gets a bit confused, because hashtags are a way for not only for people to find your content, but also for the software to know what your content is about. So if you tell the software many words, it's gonna get confused. So try to keep it 10 or below. We recommend that you find your niche and talk about something that you actually enjoy, as we've said in the past. Creating content is not gonna be hard after this part. We don't recommend overloading your posts with emojis. We love emojis. However, if you're gonna post 8 emojis in one row, people are gonna get confused, or they're gonna get overboard again. So they're gonna exit. So if you wanna make your post visually appealing, try to stick with like not that many emojis and put them at the end of the sentence, unless it's absolutely necessary. If you need to put an announcement and you wanna use the megaphone emoji, okay, you can put that one at the beginning. But other than that, try to end the sentences with the emoji. Please, we recommend that you stick to community guidelines. ASEA has its own guidelines, but so does every single type of social media. They have different guidelines, and they all have different rules as to what you can share there, what you can say, what you cannot say. So try to stick to them. They're pretty easy to find, and they're pretty easy to follow, and they all have similar ones. We do not recommend using square video where there is vertical format, or vice versa. You're gonna see more and more that content is gearing more towards vertical video, but at the moment, square formats are still supported. So if you see that a platform only uses square and another one only uses vertical, we don't recommend that you mix them. And we recommend that you give credit and are careful about copywriting material. If it's not your intellectual property, give credit where credit's due. Try to avoid, stay clear from that. And we don't recommend that you don't link. Always link. Whenever you can, link to your website, link to your store, link to wherever you want people to go. Always link. And last but not least, use your virtual office library. There's already or the ASEA Connect app. there is already brand approved visuals there or anything you can find there. And more than anything, plan your content. It might sound really hard, but you don't have to have a full-on strategy. You just have to plan that on Mondays you're gonna post, and on Fridays you're gonna post, and have your own little schedule. And it'll become easier from there. And have fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Patty. Thank you so much. I took notes. I really appreciate it. I did this, and I'm not lying when I say this. Is that every time you talk about social media, I'm learning stuff. The fact that you can actually do 30 hashtags, I had no idea, but I'll stick to 10. So next time I post, please check up on me if I did 10 hashtags. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This is new for me. I mentioned it to you on several occasions. This is very useful. Everyone has to use it, or not has to use it, but it's very, if you where you started this presentation with how many people are using social media, it's a great way to meet new people, learn about new people, share your experiences with ASEA, with others. If you go outside, you can only meet a handful of people. If you use social media, you have so much more reach. So thank you so much. I think this is very useful for everyone on this call, and please giving me tips as well how we can share what we are posting on our ASEA Europe page, because also this is it's not just your own post rights. It's also when more people talk about ASEA, this is good for everyone. We want to get the message out there. The more people know about ASEA, about Redox, the better it is. So everyone, please keep sharing. Also, and maybe a quick question, Patty. You mentioned use images from our library, VO library, but sharing our posts, of course, makes a lot of sense as well. Use the images that we use on our European Facebook page, because then it's compliant. And it's good that you're mentioning, and when you mentioned you don't want to, if people don't want to hear more about being compliant and stuff like that. There are many questions. A lot of people do not understand what they can and cannot do. It's difficult for everyone to understand differences between Europe and the US. In the US, it's they can be a bit, let's say, more lenient when it comes to sharing. And of course, you want to share these posts as well, but sometimes in Europe we're not allowed. So it's good to talk about things like compliance as well. So people know what they can and cannot do. So thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. I will quickly move over to the next topic, and I will keep it short because we're running out of time. Patty, thank you so much. And well, I'll probably see you in a minute because you're sitting next to me. But thanks so much.
Thank you.
So just briefly, we all know that the European conference is coming. Why I'm putting it again on the on this slide is because tickets are going fast. We really appreciate everyone promoting this event. Just want to mention that we do have limited spaces available for this conference. This is going to be the biggest event in Europe until now. We are expecting at least 1,000 people, hopefully more. Make sure that you and your team are here. Think about what Jamie just talked about, his experiences with the convention. This is the place to be. You meet so many like-minded people. You hear so many great stories about ASEA, and this will really change your mindset as well, and think about the big picture, what you're doing. And linked to our conference is our emerging leader training. The qualification is still running until August 20th. So just as a quick reminder, you need to qualify for this training by fulfilling 2 out of the following 4 criteria: generate a minimum enrollment volume of 1,500, successfully finish 2 fast forwards, be an EMP earner, or be paid at rank direct to 700 or higher 50% of the time. So in this case, 13 weeks. We are finalizing the schedule for this emerging leader training. We will have amazing speakers. I cannot confirm it yet, but there are good chances that Tyler will be part of this exclusive training. We will have external experts talking about topics like time management, change management, really great training material that anyone can benefit from, whether that's for your ASEA business or for your personal development. In any case, you can profit from this training and take something out of it. So really make sure that you and your team qualify for this one. It's going to be a good training. Meeting support. I just want to, we just got out of, and we're still slightly in a pandemic where physical meetings were very difficult, and physical meetings have always been a crucial part of network marketing and for you to build your business. And we know this and we want to support this. So we offer support, financial support, but also support in the form from, if you want to, me coming to your event, or if you are organizing a big event with more than 100 people, Eduard would love to come. We just did a couple of great events where many of us went to as well. These are great ways to learn more about ASEA and to really build your business up to the next level. So what we have a couple of guidelines. There's more information in the VO available. The document is called How to Host an ASEA Meeting. I think we have it available in 11, 12, 13 languages. Zhuzha, if she's on the call, she will probably correct me that it's more, but information on what we think is how a meeting should look like, but also what you need to do in order to get this support. So you have to publish it in the ASEA VO calendar. You need to, if you want me to come, of course, ask me way in advance so I can plan accordingly. But also we ask some other requirements when it comes to new people joining that meeting. Of course, we would love to see prospects coming to these meetings as well. But for 25 people, 100 euros financial support. For 50 people, 250. And if you organize a big meeting, and you don't need to do it yourself, you can organize a big meeting with your team or work with other teams together to get 100 people in the room, and we will support you financially with 500 euros. So please look into this and use it. We want you to use it. We want to spend this money because we know it works. After physical events, and physical, I mean face-to-face, in person, we always see an increase in enrollment, new people joining. You can talk to someone, but when they experience an event like that and hear people that they don't know talk about ASEA, talk about our products, it's very powerful. So please use this meeting support that we offer as much as you can. And then the last topic I just briefly want to touch base on is that we are on WhatsApp, but we have a business account, which means that we cannot reach out to you. You need to reach out to us first, and then we have you on WhatsApp. This means that it's one-way targeted information. Once we have you, once you've added to our system, we can send your messages, but you cannot respond to us. But we want to use this to send you information on incentives, on promotions, to congratulate you when you rank advanced. Just another way of communicating, which is quick. You see it right away. You don't have to open an entire email. Of course, we will continue communicating like this, but we wanted to offer more ways of communication with you. So what you need to do if you want to be part of this is scan this QR code. What will happen then is there will be you will be linked to WhatsApp, of course, and there will be a message in there which is prepared for you. You can just click on send and that's it. You can also create your own message if you want to send us something else. Absolutely fine. But this is what we need to have, you sending the first message for you to be part of our WhatsApp group. And then you are registered and you will receive a automatically programmed welcome message. Please scan this QR code. We will also be communicating this through our newsletter. So please, when you have it, share it with your team as well, so we can get a lot of people in this WhatsApp group, so we can communicate differently with you. I have to apologize. It's been a long one. I really appreciate you joining for these power-up calls. I love it, and I'm thankful. And I hope that's why I hope to see you next time in June. Always the third Wednesday of the month at 5 p.m. And for next month, that's the 15th of June. So I hope to see you. Thank you for joining, and hope to see you soon in person as well. Whether that's in Budapest or earlier. I miss you guys. And yes, thank you so much.